Hello, hello. Today I'm going to show you how I figured out how to do powder foundation with combination to oily skin, because I used to love powder foundation and then like throughout the day it would just get really oily on me. So I think I figured out a new technique to kind of combat that. If you have drier skin, I probably would not use this technique, but that's just a given. But this is what I found that has worked for me, and I'm really excited to kind of go back and even test my other powder foundations that I've tried in the past with this technique to see if I like them more, or try things that I didn't like before and see if I like them more. So anyway, let's hop right into it, and I'm going to walk you through step by step what I do. Okay, first, I'm going to moisturize. You want to make sure your skin is nice and moisturized. I'm using the, of course, you guys know, the Lala Retro Whipped Cream. Love this stuff all year round. I just do one pump. Put it all over the face. Okay, next step, we're going to do the Supergoop Unseen Sunscreen. We gotta protect. This also adds a little bit more moisture, and it also blurs a little bit. It's a primer. If you guys have been watching me for a little bit, you guys know I love this stuff. This is my go-to base with the Drunk Elephant moisturizer, and then this sunscreen. All right, our face is moisturized. It's protected with the sunscreen. Now what we're gonna do is we're going to go into the Smashbox Oil Control Primer. This primer is awesome. I reviewed it a while ago. I was really obsessed with it. It's a mattifying primer, but it's not overly drying, you know what I mean? They just reformulated this maybe a year or two ago, and I really like this one because it's kind of a liquidy formula. You'll see in the swatch that I do, instead of the last one that they had was more of like a really thick texture that I really liked that, but if you use too much, it would pill up on the skin. So we're just gonna take a little bit of it and then press it in between our fingers, and then we're just gonna go into the pore area and on the nose and on the forehead, typically where we would get kind of shiny, and then work the rest around the face. This stuff is amazing because I feel like it blurs as well. Like if you wanted a super non-makeup-y look and you just wanted to kind of mattify and blur a little bit, then I would just do the first two steps with the moisturizer, the sunscreen, and then this, and then call it a day. So then we're gonna go into the concealer. I'm going to use the Huda Beauty concealer that I've been liking. This is more of a matte concealer the more that I use it, so it does dry down and it does not go anywhere. I think it said it was waterproof. Oh, I got the shade in the Huda Beauty concealer. I got the same shade Graham Cracker 4.1G. So just keep in mind that if you have really dry skin, again, this might not be the best concealer for you. So we're gonna do 2 dots and then blend it out. I've been taking the excess concealer and just kind of, because this is a little bit light for me, so I've been dragging it down a little bit and then putting it on the forehead, just the excess, just to kind of even things out. Okay, next we're going to go into the powder. So you want to do your concealer first, because obviously the powder is going to set everything down, and you don't want to put concealer over powder because then it'll just be a hot mess. So now we're gonna go in with the powder. Today I'm gonna use the Makeup Forever, what is this, Matte Velvet Skin. This I think is discontinued. I don't know if they still make this, but I know there's a new formula that I wanna try that's supposed to be even better. But I've loved this powder and I've tried this before, so this is the one that I'm going to use today. I got the shade Y425. This is what it looks like. It's a little more tan. We're in summer. And then I'm using, you definitely cannot get this brush anymore, but just any fluffy like powder brush is what I would use. So I'm just going to dip right in and get some on the brush, tap a little bit of the excess off, and then I'm going to press the product in, and I'm gonna kind of avoid the concealer area because I wanna keep that a little bit bright and I don't wanna add more dryness to that. So I'm just gonna start here in the center of the face and start pressing it. And then I'll keep going over that area to kind of move it around a little bit. And then once I have all the product pushed in, I might take just a little bit on that concealer to set it. And then I'm gonna take a little bit more, go down the neck to blend everything together. So I don't know if you're gonna be able to tell the difference on camera with these lights, but if you can see the difference, like my skin tone is evened out slightly. It doesn't look makeup-y or heavy, and it kind of just blends everything together with the concealer and everything. Let me do the other side and then I'll pop back on for the final look. Okay, so here's the final look. I don't know if you're gonna be able to tell on camera, but my skin looks creamy and yet it looks matte and blurred and like almost perfect, but it's still like very light coverage at the same time. Doesn't look heavy, doesn't look cakey, doesn't look makeup-y. It's like unclockable, but perfected my skin, but better. So that's why I like, I'm sorry, I'm touching up. I'm gonna stop messing around. But that's why I like powder foundation, because it's like a really light wash of coverage to like kind of like even things out, and it blurs and it mattifies, which is what I need with my combo oily skin. So that's why I've always liked powder foundation, but I don't like how it gets oily. So with this technique, I've found that it definitely helps kind of stay throughout the day and not get oily and still look good. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me on this little tutorial that I figured out how to do. Hopefully it works for you. Again, this is for combination to oily skin. Probably wouldn't work for dry skin because you're putting on a lot of matte products. But anyway, I will link below a playlist to all my reviews, and make sure to hit that subscribe button so you check out my upcoming content. I upload Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 8 a.m. Mountain Time. And yeah, thank you so much for joining me, and I will check you on the next one. Bye.